I was devastated by all the things people throw away. And I was living in Gandia, so I could see next to my house or on the streets people put out like some very nice things. I found them nice. And also visiting the different places, I saw how things end up in nature, and which are not supposed to be there initially. I started collecting things from the street with the idea of refabricate them, so changing the looks of it. First I was doing this because I considered this as a creative process, an art. And then I was feeling that I was giving life back again to something that was once considered waste. There was a big chance of continuing there, but I left the project there and I said, this project needs to go somewhere else. It created a nice thing in Gandia. The organization was very motivated continuing doing this, but I felt I need to take this elsewhere. And a better place to start was where I was born, the island of Cyprus.
La Unión Europea puede convertirse en muchas cosas, entre ellas el esfuerzo por reunificar el país en el que estamos, la isla de Chipre, la ciudad en la que estamos, su capital, Nicosia, la última ciudad europea dividida. Pero la Unión Europea también puede ser una oportunidad. Lo es para los miles de jóvenes que acceden al programa Cuerpos de Solidaridad Europea, una suerte de Erasmus laboral, una aventura de un año que puede tener un final feliz.
When I arrived, I thought, who I am, no? I'm just the European guy coming to help refugees, and these people are coming from Africa, from the Middle East. But then I got that I had skills in dealing with very bad situation, people that have very impressive backgrounds, coming from war, victim of trafficking, sexual violence. I mean, the worst. And I found out that I have the skill to deal with these people, these different categories of humanity, I would say. Okay, I didn't expect neither this. And being a student, I had a lot of fun time in my life, okay? But then I wanted to be satisfied, okay? And given the fact that I worked for 8 years in restaurants, I've never been satisfied by my work, never. My studies, okay, but then I finished my studies and now I would like to be satisfied in my work, okay. And this was one of the first sensations I got since I was working there, because when I used to leave after the morning, because we were volunteering in the morning mainly, I was satisfied. I was okay with myself. I say, okay, I did something, I help people and I like it.
This is an opportunity. It's a way to improve in a different way your skills and also discover your skills. Because maybe when you study, I always say that it's not the real world. You study in theory, okay, but then you don't make a lot of practice. While in joining this project, I think it's a way to see in practice what are your skills and discover your skills, and maybe you can understand that you are able to do a lot of things and you can work on it, and then when I will come back in Italy, probably I will have a luggage, okay, with more skills and so on, so that I can search for something different.
Paint icons, still paint icons, the Byzantine one.
Okay. I just do it actually, I mean currently.
I feel that I have grown as a person and I have developed many soft skills through volunteering. I have met many very interesting people and created a network that for sure is providing me also some job opportunities. I started working as a trainer of non-formal education, and yes, it's bringing more and more opportunities.
Sinceramente esto es, yo creo que lo más interesante que he hecho en mi vida, digamos, porque yo acabé mis estudios y bueno, simplemente encontré trabajo, pero no un trabajo que tuviese ninguna clase de relación con lo que ya había estudiado. Estuve trabajando en un supermercado, estuve trabajando de camarero, estuve trabajando de recepcionista en un hotel, pero nada que realmente estuviese relacionado pues, con la cultura o con el derecho europeo, que es lo que había estudiado. Pero bueno, ahora con la oportunidad esta que me ofrece el voluntariado europeo, pues más o menos sí que estoy trabajando en el campo que estudié previamente. Si pudiese hacer esto y al mismo tiempo me pagasen por ello, claro que, o me pagasen más por ello, pues claro que lo haría, porque sería pues una forma de estabilizar las cosas. Realmente un voluntariado, por ejemplo, que estamos haciendo nosotros es de una duración de 1 año, pero a partir de ahí, ¿qué haces? Es decir, siempre se te plantea esa pregunta y quizás un trabajo que tenga como las mismas funciones, pero que te paguen por ello, quizás sea de un contrato indefinido, por ejemplo, y ahí claro que tendría que decir que sí.
Este pequeño ejército de voluntarios europeos está formado por jóvenes de entre 18 y 30 años. La mayoría de los consultados para este reportaje sin duda tenían más de 25 años, una formación universitaria y muchos de ellos experiencia laboral y sobre todo la necesidad de cambiar de rumbo. Tienen todas las facturas pagadas, también el alojamiento, también el viaje y cuentan con una pequeña cantidad de dinero para sobrevivir. Son 240 euros. No es demasiado, no es suficiente, pero es algo en un mercado laboral que ha maltratado a los jóvenes en Europa, sobre todo en el sur del continente.
I believe the more severe impact on youth is the lack of purpose, the feeling of I don't know what to expect, I don't know what to do next. It is very difficult for me to, for example, program my life in the basis of creating a family and so on, because if you don't have an income, a steady income, let's say, it creates all sorts of problems that eventually create a social problem. So for young people, it's very hard. Now things are getting better, I would say, of course, if you compare things with 2013, 2014, but still we have a long way to go. Currently, we are not just talking about, if you talk to young people, we are not just talking about number of places of work, number of vacancies. We are also talking about the quality of jobs. Some organizations might see volunteers as an opportunity of cheap labor or replacing full-time or part-time employees. Our duty is exactly to monitor this situation.
It was a thing that I was very frustrated when I faced that. Because they said for 2 weeks out of those 3 months, you will have to go around with that festival and we cannot ensure that you'll have a bed. But for the rest of the time, you will. And it was just the opposite. People perceive volunteerism like working for someone with no pay. That's the main part of it. And if you ask me, I would also refuse to work for someone without pay. If I could realize that I was actually benefiting someone financially, someone who's having a business, and I would work for them voluntarily. I wouldn't work in this cafe for no pay. I wouldn't voluntarily to put coffee to people for a cafe. I wouldn't do that. When you see the change that you manage to do with your actions, well, there is no better pay.
Volunteering, I think, came at the best time of my life because I was a little bit more mature. I was 26 years old. I finished studying 23 years old. I came to Cyprus back. I entered the job market and try the normal sequence that a person, once he finishes their studies, are doing. So looking for a job, finding a job, working on a specific thing, and I felt that this is very stressful. I need to do more things. I'm young. I felt I had some influence and the energy to do more than just work and go home and so on. And I was doing a lot of things, but I felt that it's not enough. So volunteering was like a good escape for me, or not, maybe escape is not the right word. It was a good, so you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay electricity, water and so on, and you just need to perform, let's say.